Hello and welcome to Hal's Airguns. Hey, today we are checking out another kind of premium pellet. These are Crosman High Velocity Fast Flight, I believe is what they call them. These are a lead-free pellet. They're actually looks like they're made out of plastic and some kind of metal that I assume is actually a zinc alloy. The ones I have here are in 177 caliber, and they claim that they deliver a 20% increase in velocity. Now, I've called them a premium pellet, but it doesn't say premium anywhere on them. However, we got 150 pellets for basically $13.99, I think, $14. And yeah, I would call that premium. So let's go ahead and shoot them over a Crony through a couple of different air guns here and see what kind of results we get. We tested the Mark Point with the Crosman Destroyers and the Ruger Super Points in addition to Crosman's Fast Flight. Okay, and the readings we got: Crosman Destroyers, first shot 305 feet per second, second shot 333 feet per second, and third shot was 324 feet per second, for an average of 320.6 feet per second. The RWS Super Point Extras, and those have a weight of 8.2 grains. Those came in at 297 for first shot, 281 for the second shot, 272 for the third shot, for an average of 283.3 feet per second. For comparison, our Crosman Fast Flight Pellets turned in a first shot reading of 446 feet per second, second shot 447 feet per second, and third shot 443 feet per second. Both a very tight shot-to-shot tolerance, and we'll talk about why I think that is at the end here, but they turned in an average of 445.33 feet per second, and they are in fact a 5.4 grain pellet. We also tested these pellets in the Ruger Mark IV license copy produced by Umarex. The RWS Extra Point or Super Point Extras turned in a velocity of 265 feet per second on the first shot, 258 on the second, and 273 on the third. That gave us an average of 265.3 feet per second. The Crosman First Flight turned in a first shot velocity of 347 feet per second, second shot was 378, and the third shot was 391 feet per second. Again, turning in a substantial volume increase over the Super Point Extras. Okay, the last airgun that we tested these pellets in was the Ruger 1022 177 caliber CO2 rifle. The one thing that was really good to see is, although these are a very long pellet, they do fit in the circular clips that go into the magazine for the 1022, which leads me to believe they will fit in Crosman's 1077 clip as well, although I have not confirmed that. If anyone has, please let me know in the comments. Okay, what kind of data did we get? We shot them against the RWS Super Point Extras again. First clip we went through, and we did get some errors over the chronograph. It was getting late, and so we did have some chronograph errors. But out of the first magazine that we put through the Ruger, they were RWS, and first shot came in at 288, second shot 394, got an error, then 381, 362, 370, 366, 370, 367. So good consistency. Those turned in an average out of 6 shots in that clip for 377 feet per second. On the second clip, we did get 10 good readings. They were with the Crosman Fast Flight, and I'm sorry, we got 9 good readings on that clip. First one was an error. Shot number 2 was 444 feet per second. Shot number 2 there, or number 3 actually, but third we recorded. Go down the list: 434, 442, 436, 428, 433, 428, 430, and 428 for an average velocity of 433.77 feet per second out of 7 recorded shots. Went ahead, did this through a couple more mags of the RWFs, and the first one we got an average of 360.25, and the second an average of 349.5. So, looking at these, yeah, they have done a very good job in turning in increased velocity in both CO2 rifle, break barrel pistols, and I assume in most of the other things that we would put these in. So that really brings us to our final thoughts and conclusions. All right, in conclusion, what do we think about the Crosman Fast Flight Pellets? Well, the first thing I have to say up front, and I think, this may vary according to where you buy them, but they're expensive. And in truth, any of these specialty pellets are expensive, and I haven't done the math to find out how they compare to Gamma Raptors or any of those other improved velocity pellets, although I have done all of the same testing on those pellets. So, moving aside that they're expensive, let's talk about performance. They promised us a 20% increase in velocity. Did they deliver that? Yeah, absolutely. In, more than one air gun, absolutely, in everything we tested. And why is that? Well, there are a number of reasons. Like their competitors, the Gamma or some of the others, they are lighter. And, lighter pellets going to be able to be accelerated to a greater speed than a heavier one with the same amount of energy and barrel length. So part of it's based on weight. But another thing, and that's very true in these pellets, is based on construction, materials that were used, and the design of the pellet itself. And let me see how close I can get this to focus here. Okay, you can see right away that the pellet is made up of 2 things here. It's made up of a plastic base, if you will, and then also we have a metal nose inserted into it. And then we have actually, and hopefully I can get it positioned right, maybe if we go this way, we have a hollow base. Let me see if I can get that. We have a hollow base here, although, well, you can see some of these in here that are nose down. So the material contributes both because of the weight, and then in terms of the material itself, this plastic is a very, very slick. Let me lay these down. Maybe it'll be easier to focus on our. I just go for the ones in the thing here. The plastic is slick. When you hold it, it's very slippery. In addition to it being slick, the pellets actually only make contact with the rifling in a couple of areas. If you can see here at the back, let me see if I can adjust it this way. Basically, there's a larger band at the back of the pellet that kind of serves, maybe over here, that serves as a, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do some photography and insert it here. But at the back of the pellet, there is a thick band that serves as a driving band. And my belief is that what they've done is designed a very limited area of contact as that moves down the bore. It is really just contacting barely at a rim in the front, and then at a thicker driving band in the back. And it's being propelled down the bore with, it has a hollow there that's catching the air and thrusting it forward. This metal part really is just kind of centering aerodynamically, but it's these two driving bands on the plastic pellet that are contacting the bore and the rifling, giving it its spin, and out it goes, out of the barrel. So I think there is substantially reduced friction in the gun in firing this pellet, both through reduced contact and less, I don't know what it'd be, molecular adhesion or whatever properties that give it a product its stickiness moving down the barrel. So I think that it has some design advantages over, say, another brand that primarily duplicated a lead pellet in a non-lead metal that was lighter, and that's how they got their velocity. I have not seen these things perform on game, on pests, on anything like, we can actually see the bands on that one, on anything like that, so I can't make a recommendation there. However, the conclusion, do they deliver substantially higher velocity, and will they in your gun? Yeah, they sure seem to. Now, if you have some extremely high-powered 177 and you're breaking the sound barrier anyway, I don't know what kind of increase these would give you. Another thing that we need to mention, especially to newer shooters, because these pellets are lighter, they're not going to retain energy long range like a heavier pellet will. So, yeah, they're faster out of the barrel, but they're going to shed that speed more quickly at range. So, yeah, I would say work as advertised. Are they worth the money? That's entirely up to you, but it is so refreshing to see a product that actually outperforms its claims, and in looking at it, you can kind of see the engineering or science behind that. So, it's not snake oil. Like I say, are they worth it? That's up to you, but do they do what they say? Oh yeah, that and more. So, thanks for sticking with me till the end, and I will see you on the next one.